Chapter 14, The Call to Prepare. Under the soft embrace of dawn's first light, a new day began over the Hidden Leaf Village. The rising sun, its glow seeping into the fabric of the world, carried the echoes of yesterday's revelations. The unified teams of 7, 8, and 10 were poised on the training grounds, their shared resolve transforming the space into a cradle of preparation and determination. At the helm was Naruto, his gaze sweeping across his friends. His expression was marked with a seriousness that contrasted sharply with his usual jovial demeanor. "We're up against the clock. We must push ourselves to limits we haven't explored before. Are you ready?" His voice cut through the morning stillness, a challenge echoing in the crisp air. His words were met with a ripple of determined nods. There was no hesitation in their eyes, no traces of doubt, only a unanimous affirmation of their readiness to face whatever lay on the horizon. Shikamaru, always the thinker, spoke up, "All right, Naruto, what's our first step?" In response, Naruto glanced at Sasuke. A silent understanding passed between them, a shared nod solidifying their agreement. Sasuke stepped forward, his Sharingan active, its red and black swirl lending a distinct intensity to his gaze. "Our first objective is to counter Genjutsu. We anticipate that Genjutsu users will be part of the attacking force during the Chunin exam. It's crucial that we are prepared to counter their techniques effectively," Sasuke explained. While Sasuke spearheaded the training to recognize and dispel Genjutsu, Naruto focused on enhancing physical combat, stamina, and ninjutsu skills. Their concerted efforts aimed to prepare the group for a broad spectrum of adversaries and challenges. As the day unfolded, the air hummed with the symphony of combat, punctuated by the low hum of chakra being manipulated. Moving among their friends, Naruto and Sasuke provided guidance, corrected techniques, and continually challenged their boundaries. This training was unlike any they had undergone before. This was a deliberate, rigorous preparation for an imminent threat. In the shade of a towering tree, Hinata watched her friends with silent admiration. Even from her vantage point, she could sense their unwavering determination and shared resolve. Emboldened, she stepped forward, her eyes gleaming with quiet resolve, ready to contribute to the defense of their village. As the sun dipped towards the horizon, marking the close of their first intense day of training, a tide of exhaustion swept over them. Yet, in the face of their fatigue flowed a stream of accomplishment. They understood this was just the beginning. Each new day promised to make them stronger, bolder, and more prepared for what lay ahead. The first light of dawn seeped over the Hidden Leaf Village, its golden rays casting a warm glow over the eager faces of the assembled shinobi teams. They stood on the training grounds, their shared resolve palpable in the crisp morning air. Naruto, standing at the forefront, met the gaze of each of his friends. Despite the toll of the previous day's rigorous training, their spirits were undeterred. A slight smirk pulled at the corners of his mouth as he addressed them, "All right, everyone. Today's focus is speed and agility. In battle, a split second or a misstep can spell the difference between victory and defeat. Let's get to it." Amid the nodding heads, a groan emanated from the back of the group. Shikamaru stretched languidly, scratching his head. "Seriously, Naruto? Can't we have one day where we just strategize? Or, nap?" Naruto's laughter echoed across the field. "No way, Shikamaru. We need to make every moment count." Meanwhile, Sasuke stepped forward, his Sharingan activated, its hypnotic spin adding an extra layer of gravity to his words. "We'll also be continuing our Genjutsu training. Recognizing and countering illusions quickly will be key in the upcoming battle." Choji's face fell at Sasuke's words. He turned to Ino with a sigh. "I was hoping for a snack break. All this talk about illusions is making my head spin." Ino laughed, giving Choji a playful shove. Keep dreaming, Choji. It's going to be a long day. With the plan for the day set, they got down to work. Naruto led the physical training, pushing everyone to their limits, while Sasuke continued his focus on the intricacies of Genjutsu. They worked, sweat trickling down their faces, muscles straining against the rigorous drills, but their resolve never wavered. As the day wore on, Kiba paused during a water break, panting heavily. He turned to Naruto, a challenging glint in his eyes. Just you wait, Naruto. I'll race you to the top of the Hokage monument when we're done here. Naruto chuckled, his eyes reflecting the challenge. You're on, Kiba. As dusk fell, marking the end of their second day of intensive training, they stood tall, their bodies weary but spirits unbroken. Their hearts echoed a silent promise to their home, their people, and each other. The storm was fast approaching, but they were becoming stronger, more prepared to meet it head-on. With each passing day, they were one step closer to facing the brewing conflict, one step closer to standing strong in the face of the storm. As the days melded into weeks, the rigorous training sessions continued to shape their abilities, honing their spirits into steadfast weapons. Despite the relentless exertion and fatigue creeping into their bones, the fire of their determination remained unquenchable. One sun-drenched afternoon, Naruto decided it was time to shift gears from practice to application. His voice cut through the sounds of ongoing training routines, drawing the attention of his comrades. A mischievous twinkle sparkled in his sapphire eyes, his lips curving into an all-too-familiar grin. All right, everyone, he began, his voice echoing across the training ground. We've been refining our skills, but it's time we tested them in a more practical way. Time for a mock battle. A ripple of anticipation spread through the gathered group. Shikamaru, detaching himself from the tree he'd been nonchalantly leaning against, raised an eyebrow. Finally, something a bit less troublesome, he commented, a hint of amusement in his voice. Ino chuckled at Shikamaru's remark, shaking her head in playful exasperation. Even Hinata, usually soft-spoken and reserved, couldn't hide her excited smile. Sasuke, ever the stoic one, just looked at Naruto, his silent gaze questioning the parameters of this unexpected challenge. Naruto versus everyone else, Naruto declared, the smile on his face broadening into a triumphant grin. The audacious proposal was met with a collective gasp as the enormity of the challenge sunk in. Kakashi, who had been observing from a distance, couldn't resist a chuckle. Stepping forward, he addressed the group. It seems Naruto has a knack for theatrics, he said, the lone visible eye crinkling in amusement. Unfazed by the incredulous reactions, Naruto simply shrugged. Bring it on, he retorted, his words fueling a renewed sense of determination among his friends. And so, under the unyielding afternoon sun, the stage was set for a thrilling showdown. The task was daunting, the outcome uncertain, yet their spirits remained high. More than a mere test, this was a tangible measure of their progress, a vital step towards their preparation. As Naruto faced his friends, now opponents for the exercise, the day took a thrilling turn. What commenced was a spectacular display of prowess, resilience, and unyielding determination. As Naruto's one-tailed chakra cloak ignited into existence, the very air around the training field seemed to quiver in anticipation. This was the beginning of their trial by fire, a spectacular contest where the teams would try their mettle against the daunting force that was Naruto Uzumaki. In response to Naruto's formidable display, the team sprang into action. It was a remarkable sight, a synchronized dance of assault and defense. However, Naruto, bathed in his brilliant golden cloak, moved with a speed and agility that seemed almost beyond human. This glowing shroud was starkly different from the familiar menacing red that symbolized Kurama's influence, indicating an advanced level of control that Naruto had achieved over his powers. Bathing the battlefield in a radiant golden light, Naruto was a breathtaking spectacle. His daunting aura, combined with his overwhelming abilities, made it clear to the others that he was a force to reckon with. Yet, as the battle ensued, it was Sasuke who rose to this unprecedented challenge. Sasuke's movements were a blur, his body weaving through the battlefield with uncanny precision. He swung at Naruto, launching a punch that Naruto deftly evaded using his amplified speed. But Sasuke was not deterred. His Sharingan eyes, unblinking and relentless, tracked Naruto's movements and adapted. He followed through with a swift, powerful kick that landed squarely on Naruto, sending him skidding back onto the ground. For a moment, Naruto was taken aback. He hadn't anticipated Sasuke's astounding progress, his sharpened skills meeting Naruto's superior form head-on. It made Naruto reassess the situation, realizing that this was more than a friendly spar, it was an intense display of their growth and capabilities. Refusing to concede, Naruto pushed his golden cloak to its absolute limits. Sasuke, however, was unyielding. His refined skills and heightened reflexes kept him in step with Naruto's escalated power. Their friendly mock battle had transformed into an exhilarating clash of titans, their pulses synchronizing with the rhythm of their intense face-off. When the dust finally settled, Naruto, panting and covered in grime, looked at Sasuke with newfound respect. Sasuke had grown stronger, matching Naruto's formidable power with his own. Pride swelled in Naruto's heart as he acknowledged the significant leap in Sasuke's abilities. As the mock battle spiraled into a test of their limits, Naruto's one-tailed chakra shroud flickered, casting an ethereal glow over the battlefield. Yet, despite his augmented speed and strength, he found himself gradually pushed back by Sasuke's relentless assault. The potent combination of Sasuke's fire style, Great Dragon Fire and Lightning style, thunderclap arrow techniques seared the air, their devastating impacts causing the ground beneath Naruto's feet to shudder. "You've really become stronger, Sasuke," Naruto acknowledged, a hint of admiration lacing his words, even as he fought to maintain his defensive stance. "Normally, I could counter your fire and lightning styles with my chakra." Sasuke's response was resolute, his Sharingan eyes holding Naruto's gaze as he said, "That's because you're the reason I push myself to be stronger." This exchange, amid their fierce battle, sent a ripple of surprise through their onlooking comrades. They had initially readied themselves to assist, but they now found themselves frozen in awe, their eyes locked on the two warriors engaged in a battle of titans. The spectacle was breathtaking, two of the village's most formidable shinobi, clashing in an elemental showdown that turned the serene training field into a fierce battleground. Naruto, despite the increasing challenge and discomfort from Sasuke's persistent attacks, refused to surrender. His golden aura intensified, becoming a blinding beacon of his resolve. His azure eyes, reflecting the golden glow, mirrored his unwavering spirit and determination. Sasuke, undeterred by Naruto's fiery resolve, maintained his onslaught. Utilizing his Sharingan, Sasuke perceived Naruto's rapid movements as if they were in slow motion, allowing him to effectively dodge, block, and counter. He managed to land another solid kick on Naruto, sending him skidding backward, followed swiftly by a fireball jutsu. Naruto, despite the pain searing through him, clenched his teeth and pushed through, healing rapidly thanks to Kurama's chakra. This clash, characterized by their determination and power, was a testament to their growth and resolve. It left an indelible impact on their comrades. The training ground quaked with tension as Naruto and Sasuke prepared to deliver their strongest attacks. The air felt thick, the atmosphere humming with a pulsing energy that signaled an impending clash of epic proportions. Naruto, his palms radiating with the energy of his Rasengan, mirrored Sasuke, who had formed a deadly Chidori in his own hand. Both of them, their faces etched with determination, lunged at each other in a simultaneous burst of movement. Before their destructive techniques could collide, Kakashi intervened, recognizing the catastrophic fallout that their clash could cause. With the agility of an experienced shinobi, he leapt between them, disarming their attacks with a mere flick of his wrists. The resultant shockwave from the sudden dissipation of their chakra sent a gust tearing through the field, kicking up dust and scattering debris. "Enough," Kakashi commanded, his voice cutting through the charged air like a knife. His stern gaze fell on his students as he added, "This training ground cannot withstand the impact of your combined power." His words brought Naruto and Sasuke back from the brink of their aggressive showdown, prompting them to rein in their chakra. They stood panting, the strain of their heated face-off visible on their faces, the aftermath of their duel littered all around them. As the dust settled, they looked around, taking in the charred and scarred landscape that had been their training field. Naruto grimaced, glancing at Sasuke as he said, "Sorry, we got carried away." Sasuke, looking equally contrite, nodded. "We weren't paying attention to our surroundings, only thinking about the battle." Together, they bowed their heads towards Kakashi, a silent apology conveyed in their humility. Understanding the passion and competitiveness driving them, Kakashi sighed, his stern expression softening into a smile. "I understand what it's like in the heat of battle," he said. "Just remember to be more aware next time." His gaze sweeping over them, Kakashi's smile turned fondly proud. Today's mock battle served its purpose. You've both demonstrated remarkable growth in strength and control. But always remember, the true measure of strength isn't about defeating each other, but about standing together. That unity, that ability to work as a team, will be the Leaf's true defense. His profound words echoed in the silence that followed, instilling a valuable lesson into their hearts. Their test of strength was over, but their journey towards unity and collective strength was only beginning. As the dust cloud settled, the once pristine training grounds bore the raw aftermath of the incredible clash between Naruto and Sasuke. The landscape was virtually unrecognizable, scarred by the overwhelming forces that had been unleashed. A deep silence echoed across the battlefield, the onlookers from Teams 7, 8, and 10 stunned into stillness, their hearts pounding with the remnants of the explosive showdown they had just witnessed. Shino, usually reserved and stoic, pushed his sunglasses up on his nose, his face reflecting the intense astonishment he felt. "Their growth is truly remarkable," he murmured. Kiba, standing next to him, nodded in agreement, his usual bravado replaced by a certain reverence. Akamaru, the loyal canine at his side, whimpered softly, mirroring his master's sentiment. Ino, watching the spectacle unfold, blinked rapidly as if to clear her vision. "Who knew they were capable of this?" she managed to stammer out, her hand instinctively reaching for her heart, feeling it race. Even the ever-laid-back Shikamaru couldn't suppress the shock from his face. "This is troublesome," he murmured, although his words lacked their usual disgruntled tone. Meanwhile, Kakashi slowly approached Naruto and Sasuke. A sense of satisfaction gleamed in his eye. His students had exceeded his expectations. "An impressive display," he said, nodding appreciatively. His visible eye curved in a semblance of a smile, his voice carrying a hint of pride. In response, Naruto and Sasuke locked eyes, a silent nod passing between them. It was a quiet acknowledgement of their rivalry, their bond, and their shared respect for one another. "A true shinobi finds strength in his comrades," Kakashi added, his voice softer, almost nostalgic. "You protect each other. That is where real strength lies." Naruto's eyes sparkled at the sage advice, a grin tugging at his lips. "You're right, Kakashi-sensei," he affirmed, his gaze shifting toward Sasuke. "Together, we are stronger." A quiet agreement slipped from Sasuke, his arms folding over his chest, his stance relaxed despite the intensity of the recent battle. As the day drew to a close, the training field bathed in the warm hues of the setting sun, the memories of the day etched deep in each of them. They had all come away with a profound understanding of the true meaning of power and unity. Their hearts held an unwavering resolve, a promise to their home, their village. They were stronger together. They would stand together. Chapter 16, Approaching Tides. As the last glimmers of dawn peeked over the hidden leaf village, a new day arose, heavy with anticipation. The Chunin exams, the ultimate test of a ninja's skill, strategy, and stamina, were only days away. Every shinobi in the village was preparing, their efforts amplifying the charged atmosphere that hung over the village like a brewing storm. For members of Team 8 and 10, preparation took various forms. Shino, his stoic countenance barely betraying his anticipation, was found at the break of day in the dense forest, his colonies of insects buzzing around him in an orchestrated dance. His keen intellect was hard at work, strategizing and honing his bug control techniques to perfection. In another part of the village, Shikamaru was sprawled under his favorite tree, his eyes closed in deep thought. To a casual observer, it would have seemed like his usual languid demeanor. But the strategic gears in his mind were turning, planning for every possible scenario that might unfold in the exams. Kiba, along with Akamaru, his faithful canine companion, could be seen relentlessly working on their combination attacks. Their synchronization and unity, a testament to their bond, were nothing short of spectacular. At the Yamanaka flower shop, Ino was not behind in her preparations. Between managing the shop and assisting her father in his duties, she spent hours meditating, refining her mind transfer technique. Her commitment to her clan's technique was unwavering, her focus sharp. On the other side of the village, Choji was seen, his gaze focused on an array of snacks laid before him. One could easily mistake it for another one of his food-loving antics, but the intensity in his eyes told a different story. He was preparing in his own way, building up his energy reserves, vital for his expansion jutsu. As the day wore on, each member of Team 8 and 10 was caught in the grip of dedicated preparation, the approaching exams only amplifying their determination. Meanwhile, Naruto, along with Sasuke and Sakura, were on their way to meet Kakashi. Their journey led them through the bustling streets of the Hidden Leaf Village, where they happened upon an unexpected encounter. Under the afternoon sun, three figures emerged from the crowd, their distinct sand ninja outfits catching their attention. It was Gaara and his team from the Hidden Sand Village. As the two teams locked eyes on the sidewalk, the air seemed to thicken with unspoken tension. It was a chance encounter, yet the significance was far from lost on them. This unexpected meeting. The tension hung heavy in the air as Naruto's gaze locked with Gaara's. There was a certain intensity in the exchange, a silent challenge that echoed their past confrontations. It was a silent reminder of the enmity that had once existed between them, a relic of their past now resurfacing in this chance encounter. Caught in the intensity of the moment, Sakura, not noticing the sand ninja ahead of her, accidentally bumped into Gaara. She swiftly moved back, her eyes widening in surprise. "I'm sorry," she quickly apologized, "I didn't see you." However, Gaara's eyes, cold and intense, didn't mirror the apology's sincerity. His gaze was fixed on Sakura, and there was a chilling anger brewing in his green eyes. "I'll kill you all," he muttered ominously, his voice barely rising above a whisper, yet carrying a deadly promise. No sooner had the words escaped his lips, Gaara's sand sprang to action. It surged towards Sakura, aiming to strike her down. Sakura, however, swiftly evaded the attack. Her training had prepared her for such sudden onslaughts, her agility saving her from a direct hit. Naruto! Sasuke called out, his Sharingan flaring to life at the sudden escalation. But Naruto was already moving, his own eyes mirroring the resolve burning in Sasuke's. The initial surprise was over, their defensive instincts kicking in at the threat posed to their teammate. Their chance encounter had suddenly transformed into an unexpected clash. The busy streets of the Hidden Leaf Village, once buzzing with the usual hustle, were now a stage for a skirmish that no one saw coming. As they squared off against Gaara and his team, an oppressive silence swept over the scene as the training ground turned battleground, the two formidable forces of Sakura and Gaara squaring off under the weight of the burning sun. Temari and Kankuro, Gaara's comrades, held their positions at the edge, their eyes wide with anticipation and a flicker of uncertainty. Naruto and Sasuke, distanced from the direct line of conflict, watched the unfolding spectacle with keen eyes. Naruto turned his gaze towards Sasuke, a smirk playing on his lips. "Let's keep this a one-on-one match. Sakura can handle this," he said, his tone infused with confidence. "I want to see how much stronger she has become." As if cued by Naruto's words, Sakura sprang into action. Gaara's attacks, swirling sand hardened into sharp projectiles, shot towards her with relentless fury. But Sakura, poised and focused, dodged with practiced ease. And when evasion wasn't an option, she struck. Her fists, fueled by chakra-enhanced strength, met the oncoming sand attacks, knocking them away with a force that sent shockwaves rippling through the air. The sight of Sakura, stronger, fiercer, defying the onslaught of Gaara's attacks stirred a sense of pride in Naruto. He watched as Sakura, in a sudden blur of movement, darted towards Gaara, her fist colliding with his face in a powerful blow that reverberated through the silent air. Staggering back from the force, Gaara slowly regained his footing. His sea-green eyes now glowed ominously, the first hint of his one-tail transformation surfacing as his rage flared. But before Gaara could let the beast within him loose, Naruto stepped forward, his voice echoing with unmistakable authority. "Gaara, stop," he commanded. "I know it hurts, but you need to control your emotions." Simultaneously, Naruto focused his chakra, his aura shifting into a vibrant golden cloak. It wasn't the monstrous red of Kurama, but a softer, controlled hue, a testament to Naruto's personal mastery over his inner demon and a silent signal to Gaara of his status as a fellow Jinchuriki. The tense silence enveloped them once more as Gaara stilled, his intense gaze locking onto Naruto. The showdown between Sakura and Gaara had taken an unexpected turn, a compelling testament to their personal growth and their unwavering resolve to protect their village. Amid the rising tension and the crackling energy, one thing was clear: the challenges of the upcoming Chunin exams were just the tip of the iceberg. The trials were far from over. Naruto locked eyes with Gaara, a shared understanding flashing between them. He knew all too well the loneliness, the alienation that came with being a Jinchuriki. He stepped forward, his voice echoing with empathy. "Gaara, it's okay. I know what it's like to be a Jinchuriki. To be treated like a weapon, feared by everyone. It hurts, I know. But we aren't here to fear you. We want to be your friend." "Lies. Lies. I will kill you all." Gaara screamed, his body shaking with unleashed rage. His form began to morph, the ominous aura of the One Tail starting to engulf him. Just as Gaara was about to lose himself to his inner demon, Naruto nodded towards Sasuke and Sakura. Recognizing the signal, Sasuke activated his Sharingan. Its hypnotic red and black swirl flared, casting an illusion on Gaara that slowed his movements. Sakura, on the other hand, utilized her earth release techniques. She manipulated the surrounding earth to solidify and control the encroaching sand, repelling Gaara's attacks and neutralizing his advantage. Using the opening provided by his teammates, Naruto summoned his chakra sprout's speed enhancement. He darted towards Gaara, his golden cloak a brilliant streak of light. With deft precision, he placed a suppression seal on Gaara's forehead. Gaara's form convulsed, then slowly started retracting, his transformation halted by the seal. As the sand subsided and Gaara's furious roars dwindled, an uneasy silence fell. The confrontation had ended as swiftly as it had begun, leaving them all to grapple with the reality of what they had witnessed. The encounter with Gaara had been a stark reminder of their own trials and tribulations, a reflection of the demons they carried within and the constant struggle for control. It was a lesson they would not forget as they headed into the Chunin exams. With the seal suppressing his chakra, Gaara found himself drained of his power. He stumbled back, his eyes flickering with lingering resentment. His teammates, Temari and Kankuro, immediately stepped up, shielding Gaara as they prepared to retreat. Naruto, watching them, called out. His voice rang across the tense atmosphere, commanding attention. Wait! Gaara, you have the one-tail sealed within you, and it's a poor seal. It can break free at any time, especially when you're asleep. Let me help. I can fix the seal, you'll be able to sleep without worry. His words echoed in the empty silence that followed. Gaara, Temari, and Kankuro paused momentarily, their forms silhouetted against the setting sun. There was no response, just the faint rustle of wind playing with the sand around them. Then, without a word, they resumed their retreat, their figures growing smaller in the distance. Naruto watched them go, his heart heavy with the failed attempt at reaching out. He knew all too well the turmoil that Gaara was going through, and he could only hope that his words had planted a seed of thought. They had their own demons to tame, their own battles to fight. But for now, their paths were diverging, taking them on separate journeys. As the dust settled and the echoes of the confrontation faded, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura prepared to continue their journey, their hearts fortified by the trials they had faced and the challenges that awaited them in the Chunin exams. After Gaara and his team retreated, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura stood in silence on the disrupted pathway, each lost in their thoughts. The encounter had been unexpected, intense, and revealing. It was a stark reminder of the realities they were facing, the potential adversaries they may encounter in the upcoming Chunin exams. Naruto broke the silence, his voice softer than usual. Gaara, he's just like me. We're both Jinchuriki. Sasuke looked at Naruto, his Sharingan eyes reverting to their normal onyx hue. But you're not like him, Naruto. You're stronger. Naruto glanced at Sasuke, a small smile pulling at the corner of his lips. He knew Sasuke didn't mean physical strength, but the strength of heart, the strength to endure, to remain kind despite the hardships. And Sakura, Naruto turned to face her, you were amazing. You really held your own against Gaara. You've gotten strong, really strong. Sakura blushed slightly at his words, but she also felt a wave of pride. She had held her own against a formidable opponent, proving her growth and strength. As the sun dipped below the horizon, bathing the village in an orange hue, Team 7 set off once more. The path ahead was filled with unknown challenges and potential dangers, but they walked with unyielding resolve, ready to face anything that came their way. A sunset, with silent promises and resolute hearts. The Hidden Leaf Village was still, but within its boundaries, stories were being written and destinies were being shaped. The Chunin exams were just on the horizon, and Team 7, armed with strength, resolve, and camaraderie, was ready to face the tide. Chapter 17, Eve of the Exam. As the dusk settled over the Hidden Leaf Village, the members of Teams 7, 8, and 10 gathered at Naruto's house. The air was charged with a mix of anticipation and apprehension. The Chunin exams, a monumental event in a shinobi's life, were just a day away. An event that would not only test their skills and strength, but would also shape their future paths. Naruto, standing at the head of the room, cleared his throat to catch everyone's attention. His face was unusually serious, his eyes sparkling with a determined resolve. "All right, everyone," he began, "the specifics of the Chunin exams are kept under wraps. However, I've managed to gather some intel about Kurama, the Ninetales, grumbled in the back of Naruto's mind. "That's a lie. You only know this because you're from the future." Naruto shot a mental glare at Kurama, scolding, "Shush, Kurama. Not now." Shaking his head slightly, Naruto continued, "As some of you may know, the Chunin exams consist of 3 stages. Each stage tests different aspects of our skills as shinobi." His announcement was met with intrigued gazes. Shikamaru leaned back, his mind already working on possible strategies. "So, you're saying we'll need to prepare for 3 different types of challenges?" Naruto nodded, "Exactly." Kiba, his loyal canine companion Akamaru, perched on his head, let out a whistle. "Sounds intense." Ino rolled her eyes at Kiba's comment, her competitive spirit flaring up. "Bring it on. I'm not afraid of a little challenge." Sakura looked thoughtful, her mind already dissecting the information. She knew that this would be an opportunity to prove her growth, to show that she wasn't the weak link of Team 7. Hinata, sitting quietly, clenched her hands on her lap. She felt nervous but also excited. This was a chance to prove her worth, not only to others but to herself as well. Their individual reactions were varied, a perfect reflection of their unique personalities. Yet, beneath their personal feelings, lay a shared sense of anticipation and determination. The Chunin exams might be daunting, but they were ready. After all, they were shinobi of the Hidden Leaf Village. Together, they would face the challenge, ready to prove their mettle. This meeting was only the beginning, the first step in their journey towards the exams. The first stage of the Chunin exams is a written test, Naruto began, looking around the room to ensure he had everyone's attention. And it's not your average pen and paper task. The questions are tough, almost impossible for us to answer. He paused, letting the surprise register on everyone's faces. He enjoyed the look of collective disbelief, but was quick to clarify before anyone could interject. "But here's the catch," he continued, leaning forward for emphasis. "The real test isn't answering those impossible questions. It's about testing our skills in subterfuge and information gathering. In essence, they're checking how well we can cheat without getting caught." The room erupted into murmurs. Cheating? This was certainly not what they had expected. Shikamaru broke the silence first. He leaned back, fingers templed, deep in thought. "Cheating?" he echoed, disbelief etched on his face. "You're telling us they want to see how well we can cheat?" "That's right," Naruto affirmed, nodding. He could see the cogs turning in everyone's minds. "But be careful. If you get caught 3 times, you're out. And it's not just you who gets disqualified, but your entire team." Kiba, lounging at the back of the room, sat up straight. "The whole team?" "Just like that?" he asked, eyebrows shooting up in surprise. "Yes," Naruto confirmed. "But you could even pass with a blank paper, as long as you don't get caught." Choji's eyes widened, almost comically, at that. "A blank paper? Really, Naruto?" he blurted out, disbelief coloring his voice. Hinata, quietly observing from the side, simply nodded to herself. It was a lot to take in, but with Naruto guiding them, she felt reassured. Sakura, initially silent, finally voiced her surprise. "Naruto," she began, her tone a mix of admiration and curiosity, "how did you manage to gather all this information? It's incredibly detailed." Naruto simply shrugged, a mischievous glint in his eye. "Combination of my Naruto Shadow Clone spy network and transformation jutsu. For the written exam, you have two options," Naruto began, the room silent with anticipation. "You can either pretend to work on it, or you can leave it blank. It doesn't matter as long as you don't get caught cheating." Nods of understanding echoed around the room, though a few were still struggling with the unconventional idea. "But the second part of the exam is where we really need to focus our energy," Naruto continued, his expression serious. "We'll be thrown into the forest of death with one of two scrolls, the scroll of the moon or the scroll of the sun. The objective is to reach the center of the forest with both scrolls within a set time." Shikamaru frowned, piecing together the implications of the challenge. "So, we'd need to take the other scroll from another team?" "Exactly," Naruto affirmed. "And that's where our teamwork comes into play. We'll need to strategize, cooperate, and coordinate our movements. And remember, the goal isn't to defeat the other teams, but to acquire their scroll." A thoughtful silence settled over the group. This was more than a physical or intellectual challenge. It was a test of strategy, communication, and teamwork. Kiba leaned forward, his eyes serious. "So, we need to support each other, then. We can't afford to fight separately, not in there." "Right," Naruto said, nodding in agreement. "I need us all to pass. It's not about individual success anymore, but collective victory. And that victory is only possible if we work together as one." Hinata's eyes glowed with quiet determination. "We'll do our best, Naruto. You can count on us." Naruto looked around the room, meeting the gaze of each member of the team. Each was filled with determination, resolve, and the willingness to face the upcoming challenges head-on. It was the response he had hoped for. With a momentary pause to let the gravity of the forest of death scenario sink in, Naruto continued, "Now, let's talk about the third part of the Chunin exam." He paused, his gaze panning over the room, meeting the intent eyes of his friends. "The third part is a one-on-one match held in a stadium. It's a chance for each hidden village to showcase their shinobi. We become the entertainment for the masses, with crowds paying to watch us fight. People from all over the world come to witness these matches." Ino frowned, a mix of anticipation and concern on her face. "You mean we have to fight each other while everyone's watching?" Naruto nodded, his expression serious. "Yes, but it's also an opportunity for us to build our reputation. The stronger the performance, the more renowned we become. And that could attract more missions and, in turn, more money for the Hidden Leaf Village." Shikamaru sighed, "So we're just pawns in a grand game of profits and politics." "That's one way to look at it," Naruto acknowledged. "But there's more to it. The third part of the exam is also when the Hidden Sand and Sound villages will launch their attack." Gasps of surprise echoed around the room. The revelation was a heavy blow, adding another layer of danger and complexity to their upcoming challenge. Naruto quickly added, "The third part of the Chunin exam won't take place until at least a week after the second part. That gives us some time to prepare and strategize. It won't be easy, but I believe in us. We've trained hard, and we're ready for this." The room filled with a renewed sense of purpose and resolve. This was no longer just about passing an exam, it was about the safety of their village, their home. The stakes had never been higher, but the combined might of Teams 7, 8, and 10 was ready to face whatever the Chunin exams would bring. As Naruto finished sharing his insights, a tense silence hung over the room. Everyone was deep in thought, processing the enormity of what they had learned. The Chunin exams were no longer just about showcasing their skills or climbing up the ranks. They were a battleground for the future of their village. Shikamaru, ever the realist, broke the silence. "Well, it seems we have our work cut out for us," he stated, rubbing the back of his neck. "But we're ready for it," Kiba declared, pounding his fist into his palm for emphasis. "Right, Akamaru?" The little white dog on his head yapped in agreement, earning chuckles from the group and lightening the tense atmosphere. Ino, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear, nodded determinedly. "We'll show them what the shinobi of the Hidden Leaf Village are made of." The room erupted into affirmations, the shared resolve binding them together. Naruto couldn't help but feel a swell of pride for his friends. They were not just his team anymore, they were his family, his comrades. Turning to his team, Naruto made a fist and held it out. One by one, Team 7, 8, and 10 members added their fists, creating a pile of hands, a symbol of their unity and determination. "Tomorrow, we fight not just as individuals or teams, but as the shinobi of the Hidden Leaf Village," Naruto declared, his voice echoing in the room. "Let's give it our all." An eventful tomorrow, they departed, leaving behind an empty room filled with their lingering resolve. The eve of the exams had drawn to a close, setting the stage for an intense journey that would test their abilities, their bonds, and their spirits. But they were ready. Ready to face the challenge, ready to protect their village, ready to prove their worth as shinobi. As the night deepened, they knew the dawn would bring not just the Chunin exams, but a chapter of their lives they would never forget.